Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Peck Em Podcast, your home for all things UIW athletics, and in particular, UIW football. Today, we are back with Joel. Going on?
It's Juan Marcos.
Joel Marcos. And I won't give your last name away because, we don't want to do that here. Like, this is very secretive.
I'm pretty sure I did that like another time. I'm pretty sure, but
I'm pretty sure we did too.
Man, how's it going? Sorry, I've been here, there, and everywhere, and it's just been a wild time right now for me.
Oh man,
a good
You've
time.
Been traveling everywhere.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time, but it's just a wild time. But no, I'm excited to talk to you today and talk about UIW football, see what's going on, especially the last one with McNeese.
Oh man, talk about a barn burner that shouldn't have been a barn burner.
We're talking about a team that hasn't won anything.
Still, thankfully.
I get it. We got a couple. We got a couple players that we didn't play and all of that. But man, to get into halftime, to only 7 points.
Yeah, it was getting into halftime of that game, that was a little
it
was very worrying.
What was it? 24? Yeah, 24 to 7 at halftime, and that was pretty worrying. And it's just like, oh man.
Yeah. So last week, I went to a watch party over at one of our friends' places, restaurant called Arenas, which is in Stone Oak, or actually Arenas. It's in Stone Oak.
Yeah, how was it?
It's actually really, really good. It's Marisco style Mexican food, delicious food.
Still need to make it out there. I know they got good cocktails and good food for what I've been told.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now their food was great. They had this shrimp ceviche there, really good. Then they had huh? Oh yeah, they got ceviche.
You?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had ceviche. I had poke. I was a wild man that day.
You don't even like poke.
I don't, but I liked that poke. That was good poke.
All right, cool.
It was poke with like a Mexican twist on it.
You're not much of an adventurous eater, I guess.
Okay, first of all, I think I can get pretty adventurous at times. I mean,
I think adventurous for you is like, let me put some jalapenos on a burger,
Hey, I put some habaneros on it too sometimes, if I'm getting really adventurous. And then I'll regret it the next morning,
Okay. All right.
But yeah, poke is not my norm.
Yeah, that's for sure. I love poke.
I like ceviche. I've had ceviche before, so that wasn't too out of character, but poke was definitely not my norm. But I mean, and that was one of their dishes that was rated by my essay as being like one of the top dishes to check out at the restaurant. And so apparently that's what got them the food review was that one dish. So really good. Great spot. He put on the UIW game. And,
nice.
I tell you what, had me in the first half. I mean, I was worried in that first half. I think everyone was.
Man.
So
let's go over it a little bit.
Let's recap that game. Let's go into that.
Calzada wasn't in.
No, neither was Trey.
No, neither was Trey. So we had Ryan Stubblefield.
Yeah, for the first half.
For the first half. And, he had a fumble. He went 18 for 14, 52 yards. But that average was 3.7.
Yeah, the average was not very good. Nope.
Not the biggest, in hindsight. And so, when that's just that's literally a half. And, maybe it's just, some sophomore jitters, you know what I mean?
It could be something like that. I don't know. I mean, he had 0 INTs.
Yeah,
that's good, but 0 TDs too as well.
0 INTs. I mean,
that's the thing. I guess take what you can get.
That's a thing.
But it was a rough first half.
McNeese scored. What, 24 straight? Basically, well, I wouldn't say 24. Did they score 24 straight?
Well, I mean, not straight. Like it wasn't like back to back to back. But yeah, 7 in the first, 17 in the second. And then, the defense really, really kind of kicked in. And I mean, they were present the whole time, but they really dominated the third and the fourth quarter. 0 points for McNeese in the third and the fourth quarter. And then we got 7 and then 21, right? So 28 points for us in the second half.
That fourth quarter, yeah. I mean, so we did a quarterback change in the second half, and we
Yep.
got Richard Torres, and he's a freshman actually, and he went 11 for 18, 161 yards, was really good, averaging 8.9, so close to 9 yards. But he had 3 TDs though,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
no interceptions. He kept it
Nope.
safe, which is really good, and that's what we needed. Um, But it's just like, man, how did we allow McNeese to just get a hold of that first half? Like,
Yeah. The offensive struggles were there, but the defense was struggling as well, especially in that second
oh
quarter.
yeah,
Like the defense, and you know, the defense has done great this year. I mean, and it's a huge
yeah,
improvement over previous years when we're pretty much all offense, dominated. But but the defense has been notably, much improved this year. But
yeah,
that's second quarter they struggled. They struggled, allowing 17 points, and and McNeese kind of had their way with us.
yeah, exactly. And their quarterback, they Ryan Roberts, he completed 16 out of 29 passes for 180 yards, 186 yards, excuse me. And you know, he shows that they had a couple couple of couple spurts, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he had a total of 200 yards though. So
Yeah, and looking at the stats for the two, especially I'm looking over here at passing, right? So like passing was pretty even for both, for UIW and McNeese, like 213 yards for us, 200 for them, and then our average per attempt was 6.7, the exact same as theirs. you know
yeah,
I mean, we were pretty much on the edge, but we had three TDs to there too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's pretty good. But our offense really kicked in gear overall. Just and our running game, I was really
I
impressed
was there.
with our
Our
running
running
game.
game really,
That's
really
what bailed us,
outshined. Yeah, that's what bailed us out a lot.
and
Yeah,
this is
we
without Trey. You know,
without Trey. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Because we got Carter with 20 on 165 and Isaiah with 17 to 121. And yeah,
Mhm.
they definitely bailed us out on that one.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
and so UIW not really known for being a ground game sort of program, but we definitely were. Like
At
we
least this
definitely
year.
were,
Yeah.
at least in this game,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that's going to be, looking forward to the next week and this week, coming up against Lamar.
Yeah.
So Lamar, this is a team here that
They're above 500
they're above 500.
theoretically.
They are, and I mean, they are not a slouch. This team, they are receiving votes to be ranked, along with Nichols to be receiving votes as well,
Yeah.
and so they, in the Southland, I would probably say Lamar and Nichols are our two strongest competition right now.
Yeah.
And they're both undefeated in Southland play. So,
Yeah.
say what you want about the Southland. I mean, that's a whole conversation we could be having. It's a whole conversation we could be having about strength of
Mhm.
schedule and all that. And, I talked a bit about that last week, and you and I were talking beforehand
Yeah.
about some of the banter.
Going
Yeah.
going off of
Go ahead.
that,
Go
I
ahead.
will
Go ahead.
say real quick, semi soapbox. It's just even last year. Okay, I know we had a completely different team basically, but even last year when we were about to join the WAC conference, they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, UIW is lowering the bar for us." And
Yeah.
UIW,
Yeah.
UIW that.
Yeah.
This happened last year. We were literally in the final four.
Yeah. Exactly.
And also, again, going back to just me being me, we should have been in the championship game if it wasn't for
Yeah.
lame penalties. But that,
Oh man. Yeah. Well,
I digress though. I digress. But
there's so much we could say about last year and the
yeah.
NDSU game. Like
Oh yeah.
I mean, I personally think we would have given him more of a run. Yeah, that's just me.
Oh,
That's just me
for
saying that.
sure.
But
Oh yeah.
maybe I'm being a homer, but I'm pretty sure we could have.
Hey, I think we all are. But yeah, but
Nothing
it's
wrong
just,
with being a homer here.
I think they just they keep moving the goalpost a little bit for UIW.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's always gonna be people who say, oh well, UIW shouldn't be ranked because of this. UIW shouldn't be ranked because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's strength of schedule. Oh, and every year
but it's
there's always that thing. There's always that thing. People are like,
yeah, it's the disrespect, So
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
disrespect because we're a young program that's that shouldn't be where we are right now, but here we are.
exactly.
So
So
yeah. But anyway, yeah, looking ahead to Lamar, right? Looking ahead to Lamar over here. Um, you know, I think running the ball is an area where we could actually have a lot of success. Because this is a team that on paper has not done too well stopping the run. Pass, yeah, the defense looked pretty good against the pass, for the most part. But on paper, stopping the run, it's been a little rough for them.
I mean, judging by a couple of the past few games, we ran over the teams that we should have. Granted, Abilene Christian, that was a tough game.
Yeah,
But
that was.
Southeast Louisiana, we that was supposed going into the season, that was supposed to be the toughest game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But you know what? They still put up a fight.
Yeah.
Texas Commerce was supposed to run all over them. Up until a certain point, they put up a fight.
Any team in conference play is not going to be a
know?
pushover.
Exactly. And you got Lamar over 500, and Lamar, they're on a 4-game winning streak. They beat Lincoln, okay, obviously, but they beat Houston Christian by 21, Northwestern State 17-13.
Mm-hmm.
And they squeezed by SC Louisiana, Southeastern. So, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a tough, but at the same time, I'm still gonna predict obviously UIW to win.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean that should be our prediction here. For every game, I would hope.
Yeah. But the thing is, we got to contain the passing game against Lamar
Yeah.
because their quarterback. I mean, he's pretty good. In the past, I've used this guy's a stud, but this guy is like
Pretty good. He's pretty good.
He's
Let's
good.
go with that. Yeah, he's pretty
Let's
good.
go with that.
Now,
he's pretty good.
let's not
He
make him
doesn't
look
throw
amazing.
he doesn't really throw many interceptions. So he has total of 9 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. He's pretty good this year. He's
Yeah.
only out of all the games this year, he's only had 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
So he doesn't throw a lot, but he throws a lot. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, but he does throw a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking over here at the defense for Lamar, and I said earlier that I think we're gonna have a good time running that ball on the ground, against them. And so, stat here, pretty interesting for us. 1473 opposing yards to 1125 Lamar rushing, right? So like they're letting people run, it looks like. So this could be a good time for Trey to shine, right? And this is an area where I look for UIW to kind of, push that run game. Carter as well, Isaiah as well, get him the ball. And but also I think last week was an interesting game. Can we really count that as representative of what the team is right now? I'm gonna say no, because we had so many players out for that game.
True.
But
that's true.
But was I very proud of the fight of the team? Yeah, I mean,
especially in the second half, dude.
I don't care who you're playing. If you go into the locker room 21, or sorry, 24-7, that's a bit demoralizing, especially to a team that is winless. That'll cause you to rethink some things. But they didn't lose hope. They came back out, quick change at quarterback, and Thoda's got us through it. The FedEx freshman of the week over here. So
yeah, exactly.
So that's that was great to see. And Lamar, looking at him, I'm looking at their schedule here, who they've played, and they've had a pretty decent schedule. The 3 games they lost are all good teams, who I would kind of expect them to lose to.
Yeah.
They lost to Idaho, in Idaho, 17-42. They lost to ULM, 14-24, kind of played them close. Sorry, that wasn't in Idaho. The first one was in Lamar. And then South Dakota, they lost to South Dakota 6-35, but that's South Dakota. I mean, that's it's South Dakota. That's to be expected.
Yeah, of course.
And then Lincoln, destroyed them 38-0. Then we get in the conference, Houston Christian. Then these are the close games here, right? So
Yeah,
21-19, Houston Christian. And this is the Houston Christian's a team that is not the Houston Christian who are used to playing. This is a team that's looking a little better this year. So that's pretty good.
yeah.
The Demons over at Northwestern State, 27-13. That was a pretty good victory over them. And then Southeastern Louisiana, who we played as well. We won by a TD against them, 30-24 is what they won, or that was their score over Southeastern
Yeah,
Louisiana. So
so
pretty comfortable
they're
there.
no slouch, like I'm telling you that we just got to contain the quarterback. The quarterback
Yeah,
wants to throw it.
he wants to throw the ball, and if we can, with where our defense is looking right now, and
Yeah.
and with the way we force turnovers, like some clutch turnovers came, especially in that game against McNeese. There were some clutch turnovers at the very end of that game, and if we can produce those throughout the game, and I think we're going to come in this game with a chip on our shoulder.
Hope
I mean,
so.
having been played, very close by McNeese,
Yeah.
and I think we'll come in with something to prove, because I mean, yeah, we've heard the haters as commentators out here, right, and fans, but like I know the players have heard, I've heard all the doubters out there, and everyone always trying to talk down on the word,
Oh,
so
for sure. Yeah. What is your final score?
final score for this one, I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
34 UIW to 21 Lamar.
21 Lamar. Nice.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna go 38,
Okay.
26 UIW.
Okay, 38-26. All right. Roughly a
Yeah.
similar spread.
Yeah, we just gotta that's the thing, we just gotta contain we just gotta contain them, just gotta contain. But if Calzado come back and Calzado would come back and he's literally averaging over for the most part 300 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's his average.
As long as they don't contain him.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as they don't contain him,
Yeah.
and their pass defense isn't bad,
Yeah.
they have a better pass defense than rush defense, but
Yeah.
it isn't anything we haven't faced before. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, Calzada should come in this game, hopefully rested, ready to go, and ready to pass, and hopefully pick apart that secondary.
Exactly.
That's the goal. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Kind of him going through all that and getting some good reps in there.
Yeah.
But something else I'm happy about. Now is knowing that Torres came in clutch. Knowing that we got a solid backup.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Because Calzada, even when he was at A&M and at Auburn, I mean, injury laden, he had injury issues at both of those schools, and want to keep him healthy as much as we possibly can. So if we're able to put in, Torres to get some of those reps, like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just, if it looks like we're doing pretty good at the game, put him in and get Calzada out of there for a little bit.
Oh yeah, he was slinging it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I was impressed with some of those passes he was making
Coming out the gate in the second half, unknowing he was gonna play. Like, yeah,
after seeing what happened the first half.
Yeah, well, yeah, 3 touchdowns, man. Yeah, he was out there.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that storyline progresses there, and also our receivers, of course, have been doing great as well. Brandon Porter, want to get him the ball some more. Caleb Chapman, CJ Hardy, Marquez Perez, like spread the ball around, and that's a good thing with Calzada and even Torres in the last game was that he was spreading the ball around. He wasn't just passing to one guy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I think that's going to play to our advantage against a team like Lamar. By the way, speaking of which, something about Lamar before we move on. So Lamar got they have a brand new head coach. This is their first year head coach. Peter Russamondo. So this is his first year at Lamar, and he's been at a bunch of places, right? Most recently, Charlotte, where he was offensive line coach over there. And then, before that Vanderbilt, Rutgers. So like, he's been around, seen a bunch of stuff. And so I know Lamar it's all, whenever you bring a new coach to a place, it always kind of gets you hyped up a little,
Exactly.
So interesting to see, how he plays. In one more thing, one more personal story here is about Lamar. Is I remember when we were at UIW, the first away game that I drove to, I mean, other than when I used to go with the team, but like I drove to as a fan, was in Lamar to go watch UIW play Lamar back when we were Division II. We played him close. Like, and I remember walking in and being like, "Whoa, this Lamar Stadium is huge! Look at this place!" Blah blah, and I was blown away by it, and I was like, the Cardinals versus the Cardinals, and we played them close. They ended up pulling away in the fourth quarter, winning by 10.
Okay.
But like seeing how far we've come as a program since that time, gives you the little warm fuzzies, for that.
Now we're the one to beat.
That's right. Yeah, and our record against them, I mean, that's pretty good. So, I'm
looking at their stadium right now. It's not too different from ours.
It'd be something that like I'd picture that and be like, I wouldn't mind having like a bigger jumbotron, maybe enlarge the stands a little bit, but like, I mean, it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar,
Yep.
I'm gonna say one thing though. Their mascot is wrong.
Their mascot's wrong.
Yeah. The Cardinals should have a red beak, like actual Cardinals, like anatomically they have a red beak. Got a yellow beak on that one. So, but it's a common mistake. I mean, Arizona has the same thing too, but like
they're just not like the word.
No, they aren't the word. Yeah. I remember when we first got the red beak, though, when we were at UIW, we were like, why is there a red beak on it? And then we looked it up and we're like, so the bird actually looks. It has a red beak. Anyway, looking forward to this game. This is going to be one that I'm definitely going to watch and put on my schedule. I'm going to watch all the games, but like I'm definitely gonna be, maybe grilling some steaks in the backyard or something, make a thing out of this game because this is Cardinals versus the Cardinals.
Oh, for sure. No, and after that, hopefully we'll get this win. Then we got 2 more home games, and then Houston Christian.
Yeah, Houston Christian. Yeah,
and hopefully, right now we're sitting at, I believe, 8th place right now.
Stats Perform FCS top 25.
Week.
Yeah, and that one we're 8, and then the coaches were 4.
We were 5th. Wow, we were 5th last week.
We were, yeah.
So, but we're not too far off on how they're ranking these points to being back in 5th again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And
1,079, and right now at number 5 is Delaware. That's 1,079, and right now we're at 1,038. So we're not too far.
No, we're not too far off. And the coaches poll, maybe we can move up one also. You never know. But ahead of us is our good friends Furman,
Montana State, and then dang South Dakota State.
I know. South Dakota State. Lamar played South Dakota State and got trounced, but that's to be expected. I mean, no one can fault them for that. So
at least it's not South Dakota State and then North Dakota State as usual.
Oh yeah. As fun as those games are, I like to see some diversity in it. I like Montana State, that I wouldn't mind seeing them, watching them in the playoffs. I think that'd be kind of cool. Furman's always kind of fun to watch too, but I like it better when I watch UIW beat Furman. So are there any games that we should be looking at this week? What are some FCS games we should look at here, do you think?
There is a few, actually. The FedEx Ground FCS game of the week, man. Besides UIW, this is the one to watch. This one is going to be number 2, Montana State.
Ooh, Montana State
3-0 in the conference versus number 3, Sacramento State. 5-1, 2-1 in the conference.
Man,
that one's going to be really good. This was last year's Big Sky co-champs, so they're meeting for the first time since 2019. How about that?
Ooh, man. So what's your prediction on this one?
Oh man, I think Montana State is actually like a pretty fun team to watch. So I'm gonna go with Montana State.
Montana State. I think just to be a contrarian, because I haven't done that very much when we do our picks, I'm gonna go with Sac State. So yeah, and
Yeah.
we always say we're gonna figure out who's ahead and
We
and the
will, we
thing.
will, we will. Maybe
Uh,
by next week, and if not, by the week after,
uh,
for sure.
I'm writing some down here right now. I'll write these down in my book. So all right, who
There's
else? Who
another
else?
one. There's another one from a team that you said earlier. Uh, it's going to be number 4 Furman versus number 8 Western Carolina.
Okay.
So that should be pretty good.
You know, give me Furman in this one.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna go with man. I don't know. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one, right?
I don't. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with Western Carolina. That's what I'm gonna go with.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
But check this out. From this is from FCS Stats. You ready for this one?
All right.
So two unbeaten FCS teams. It's South Dakota State 6-0, and Harvard 5-0. Okay,
Ooh.
with me so far.
Okay.
There's only 9 FCS teams. All of them are 5-1. Whose only loss this year is to an FBS opponent.
Really?
Yeah, as Delaware, Florida A&M, Furman, Lafayette, North Carolina Central, South Dakota, UT Martin,
I know one of
Western
them.
Carolina, and what do you think that last team is?
I know who that last one is.
What is
That's
that
the
last?
Cardinals, and I don't mean Lamar.
That is the Cardinals, UIW.
That's right.
Exactly. So shout out to FCS football showing a little bit of, a little bit of love.
That's right. That's right. I'll always welcome some of that.
I mean, it's all stats, but still, at least they're acknowledging,
Hey, if the stats are showing us love, that's the only form that really matters.
Exactly. Another big one that's gonna happen, speaking of which, to a team that's unbeaten, it is South Dakota State versus Southern Illinois. I would really, really want Southern Illinois to win.
The Salukis.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get South Dakota.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a contrarian on this one at all. I'm gonna say South Dakota as well.
And FCS again with the stats. FCS stats on Twitter, or X if you like to call it nowadays.
X.
FCS longest active winning streaks overall 20, which is South Dakota State.
Uh-huh.
You want to know what the next number is overall?
What is that?
Overall longest active winning streaks
Is this just versus FCS or is this overall?
is overall FCS.
Okay.
5.
Who is it?
No, I'm just saying like number is 5. So
it goes from 20 to 5.
So it's 20. South Dakota has a winning streak of 20. Everybody else 5.
All right. Okay. All right. Who's I assume we are part of this.
We are part of this. UT Martin, Western Carolina, Harvard, and South Dakota.
Yeah, South Dakota. Okay.
So there's South Dakota State and South Dakota. At least that's what.
Well, there we go. Good on South Dakota, on South Dakota State, I guess.
And then Montana at home has the longest active winning streak of 24 games.
Okay. All right. That's pretty, we have a home winning streak as well, though, over at Benson.
So. There we go. Exactly. So those are some of the other games of the week. They're going to be dope. They're going to be fun.
I think we got some pretty good picks here. All right. So I got those documented.
If you want to go with the one-off,
okay,
right?
What's a one-off?
You want to go with the one-off? In the Northeast, St. Francis, they're 2-4.
Okay.
At man, I don't know if I can pronounce this.
What is it? Duquesne?
What did you say?
Is it Duquesne?
Duquesne, that's who it is.
Yeah, Duquesne. That's a good basketball school.
Yeah. So they're 3-3. St. Francis 2-4.
I mean, I'm probably saying Duquesne wrong. It's probably like Duquesne or something but
Duquesne or something.
Duquesne, yeah. But I've always said Duquesne for them.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with the big D. That's what I'm gonna go with.
You going with Duquesne?
Yeah, I'm going with Duquesne.
You know, I'm not sure if Duquesne is a Catholic school or not. I don't know. It might be. But I'm gonna go with St. Francis to show some solidarity with them, since UIW is a Catholic school too.
There we go.
There we go. So St. Francis. And now we have enough to where here we got 4 here. Well, I guess we got 3 different ones. South Dakota State we both picked.
Right.
So
let's do it.
As much as we want the Salukis to to show up that day. I mean, they might show up, but South Dakota State's not gonna stay at home.
Exactly.
So 3 p.m. on Saturday versus Lamar in Beaumont. Make your way out there, everyone, or tune in to ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
Either way.
As much as we would love to go to Beaumont, Beaumont's a little far from us.
It's a little far, yeah, for both of us at this point. But yeah, so we'll definitely be watching that one on ESPN Plus, and we'll be checking that out. But yeah, keys to victory for UIW: 1, get that passing game going. 2, and it sounds just like kind of dumb, but lean on the running game as well, right? Like we have great rushers, right? And so have a balanced attack. I think that's what we need. We got to have a good balanced running attack, a good balanced passing attack, and with Calzada back, with Trey back, I'm pretty excited to see how this team looks. And I know Lamar is going to be excited to play us. I've been reading some of the Beaumont newspapers about this, so they're excited to have us come in there. But yeah, I think we can pull this off. But yeah, those are at least my keys to the game. You got any keys?
Contain Lamar's quarterback. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that and contain the quarterback. Defense get some takeaways. But also the other one I was gonna say ties into that is let's last week I was just harping over and over again on not turning the ball over, and let's keep that in mind. Let's still not turn the ball over. I mean, that's something that I definitely want to see is a lack of fumbles, lack of interceptions, because the game before we struggled in that aspect. So looking forward to this game. Looking forward to seeing what we do.
Yeah.
Well, sounds good. So until next time, everyone, go Cardinals. And I mean the UIW one.
Yeah, and the UIW one. That's
just to be specific here. Have a great weekend, everyone.